Did you truly believe that the tangled situation involving Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields could get any worse? Ladies and gentlemen, hold on, because this love affair has just devolved into a full-fledged crime scene due to Remy's firstborn son. We're talking about street shouts, fist fights, and a betrayal so intimate that soap operas are paying notice. Jason's got Jim in Harlem last night. In other words, he raced toward him with purpose, not away. Have you witnessed acts of violence stemming from loyalty? And now for the worst part. Not only was Papoose caught in the act of having sex with Claressa, but he was also apprehended by the one person who witnessed Remy sobbing while the cameras were rolling. Weren't playing with her son, and he's here for justice, not the drama. As eyewitnesses tweet, Remy only shared one phrase that encapsulates her account. This is ridiculous. So let's examine the video, the aftermath, and the altercation that is destroying hip-hop. With the streets busy and the air brimming with springtime vitality, it started out like any other Harlem night. Between an after-workout smoothie and a late-night boxing practice, a scandal was brewing because, at exactly 9:37 p.m., 3 lives collided outside a 24-hour gym on Lenox Avenue, shocking bystanders and changing the course of history. The course of one of the most well-known hip-hop love tales. 2 eyewitnesses, the gym's front security camera, and a since-deleted social media clip captured something that is currently trending online. Papoose, who has been openly active in Remy Ma and Papoose's deteriorating relationship. One witness said the two were moving like a couple who didn't care who saw them, laughing and talking closely. They didn't note, though, that Jason Scott, Remy Ma's son, was sitting alone in a black SUV across the street, watching. Unaware that his evening was about to take a nasty turn, Jason parked behind tinted windows. Others say he had been tracking their whereabouts for days, while others say he was only waiting for a friend. What is certain is that he exited the vehicle and headed directly for Papoose and Claressa as soon as he noticed them. There was no pause or build-up at first, just a single, clean hit and a punch that came so fast that others thought it was staged. But it was actually Jason Scott, a 23-year-old who was uncontrollably angry. Papoose lost his balance due to the blow and slipped, colliding with the side of a parked car. He tried to get back up by raising both hands in what appeared to be a protective maneuver, but the damage was Claressa simply backed up slowly, eyes wide, body rigid, taking in what was happening directly in front of her. She didn't yell or get involved. She reportedly turned and left without saying anything, and a short while later, she was spotted boarding a black vehicle that flew down the street. Although the interaction lasted less than a minute, the consequences will persist for a long time. One eyewitness described the second punch as a message rather than a battle, and it came faster than the first. We're not talking about a stranger here. This is the son who witnessed Papoose restrain his mother during her prison sentence, who went to celebrate his birthday with him and referred to him as a role model, and who once told a podcast host that Papoose is the reason I think men can be faithful. That's why this hit so hard and why Jason, of all people, chose to act. In addition to being betrayed, Jason witnessed Papoose roaming the streets with the same lady Remy had publicly warned him about. This was proof that everything Papoose had stood for had fallen apart under duress. This was not an isolated incident. According to other leaked communications that were acquired by people close to Jason, the proof suggests that Jason wrote to Papoose privately a week before the incident and had read, "I told you I don't care what people think. That's my mom. You know what she's been through. You go out there with her enemy and think I'm supposed to stay silent?" That confrontation didn't go public, but what happened outside the gym did, and by the time police arrived, the internet had already taken hold of the story. Clips of the scene were uploaded to social media. Hashtags started trending. Viewers slowed down footage frame by frame, analyzing Papoose's reaction, Clarissa's expression, and even the hoodie Jason was wearing. One that read in bold print, "Protect what raised you." Commentators in 2 hours, we have a digital trail, even though none of the parties have issued official statements. Earlier that night, Claressa posted a now-deleted Instagram story of a gym locker room with the caption, "Some people still need to learn how to let go." The timeline was flooded with questions, reactions, and breakdowns, and nobody had any answers. Above all, what made Jason feel that he had to take the lead? Where had Remy Ma gone to? Why was Papoose ever with Claressa? In a post that read, "Solid work tonight, bro. Real ones always bounce back," Papoose was tagged by a local trainer that same night. But the unsettling revelation arrived. The tension between Remy and Papoose has been building for months, from rumors of infidelity to viral live streams to Claressa publicly calling out industry women pretending to be wives. The pressure cooker has been heating up non-stop, but no one expected the first person to blow the lid off the situation to be Remy's son. By 4:12 a.m., on her Instagram story, Remy Ma posted a black screen with the simple words, "Actions mean more." She didn't tag anyone or provide any additional details, but the message was loud. Police have not confirmed whether charges will be brought, and official medical statements have not been made public, but the damage to Jason's body, emotions, and reputation has already been done. Some say he went too far, while others say he did what many sons would do if they saw their mother treated so disrespectfully. Whatever your stance, one thing is for sure, this isn't just about a fight. It's about a family in disarray, a loyalty that destroyed a legacy that might never be recovered. When the footage stopped, the rumors began, and by dawn, the fight wasn't just a moment. It had turned into a movement with 1,000 stories, 1,000,000 opinions, and 100 alleged insiders had something to say suddenly, but under the viral videos and trending hashtags, there was something that nobody knew was real, and it started with Claressa Shields. A few hours after the incident, Claressa's team sent a generic statement to a sports media outlet stating, "Claressa Shields is not involved in any personal dispute. After a fight, she left the public gym where she was. We are disregarding the fact that she was there, walking next to the father who reared Jason and 2 other people, and that she has been linked to Papoose for months, both through her own social media posts and online hearsay." Although Claressa tried to leave the story, it wouldn't allow her since a voice message that was allegedly leaked from one of her close friends surfaced online just minutes after she made her statement. She instructed Papoose not to come that night since she knew the son was there, the confident but trembling voice added. However, let us pause for a moment to consider it. Claressa was aware of the tension and, it seems, made an effort to avoid it, or was she attempting to avoid becoming embroiled in it? The internet didn't know, at least not yet, that Remy Ma had been in communication with her kid less than an hour after the confrontation, but she stayed mute and didn't tweet, repost, or whisper. Immediately following the attack, Jason texted his mother a voice message, according to family members, including a former aide who has since deactivated her Instagram account. This is the alleged transcription, although we haven't heard it. Seeing them, their mutual glances, and everything I needed to see, I had no intention of hitting him in that manner. I did it because of how she looked when she found out, not because I wanted to gain influence. We are now discussing suffering. Not just drama or gossip, but actual anguish, and what was the internet doing with memes, revisions, and threads? That line, which recalled her appearance after discovering the truth, struck like a second punch. While another YouTuber tried to lip-read Claressa's look in the video, suggesting that she mouthed the word "please" right before she left, another YouTuber even dramatized the entire incident in an animation. But what transpired next brought everything back to earth. An anonymous police report emerged identifying Jason Scott as a person of interest in a current investigation into a violent attack that resulted in bodily harm. According to a source close to the Scott family, Jason was counseled to avoid publicity on both a legal and emotional level, even if the media demanded a mugshot. One inside her label said Remy Ma was startled, angry, and torn. She wasn't criticizing her son, but she also wasn't endorsing the violence. To keep things quiet after the fight, Papoose, The other man in this triangle was brought to a private clinic rather than an emergency room. But in this industry, nothing remains silent for very long. A medical professional reportedly gave information to a buddy, who then gave it to a covert blog, according to the article. The patient reportedly sustained a fractured wrist from an incident with a vehicle, mild facial damage, and edema close to the eye. Defense, not retribution, was evident. This makes sense since Papoose believed that loyalty, love, and legacy were more important than fists and that they would shatter under duress. How do you get over that? You are the man who reared Remy's son, helped her through her incarceration, gave her interviews of praise, and composed rhymes about her strength. That same son is now standing above you while you lie on the sidewalk. It's traumatic, cinematic, and far from over. New footage emerged in the days that followed. Claressa snatching Papoose's hand just before Jason exited the SUV was not visible in the initial clip. Although it was brief and undramatic, it was sufficient for people to say, and when that video appeared on Twitter, things blew up once more. See, that's why he lost his temper. The question now wasn't who delivered the punch, but rather why it occurred. This is where things became even more complicated. According to an anonymous direct message posted to a celebrity gossip website, Claressa and Papoose had been covertly dating for months, even as Remy and Papoose worked on their relationship in private. According to the source, there were dinners, hotel stays, and even a voicemail that was leaked in which Claressa said, "Tell Remy thanks for warming the seat." We haven't confirmed that, but since this is the internet, the website posted it nevertheless, and after people stopped asking, did Jason go too far? When the message became public and the story took a new turn, they asked, why didn't he do more? But despite all the headlines and hot takes, there is still one voice that we haven't heard from, Remy Ma. She has shared a few old photos, hazy stories, and subtly worded captions, but she hasn't mentioned the man who reared her son or the woman who stood beside him that night. Her silence speaks louder than anything she could say, and the world is waiting because if this had only been about fists and feelings, it would have died in a news cycle, but this is about respect, history, legacy, and what the aftermath of the violent altercation between Jason Scott and Papoose is revealed in Part 3. No one foresaw the possibility of lawsuits, secret recordings, and the unexpected message that may have just leaked from inside the Scott household. What was said, who is suing whom, and did Papoose just hire legal protection against Remy's own family? Stay tuned because, in the days after the altercation, this family feud has transformed from private heartbreak to possible legal warfare. Despite the fact that no formal complaint has been filed, multiple outlets are now reporting that Papoose has begun seeking legal advice in response to the altercation. According to a legal insider, Papoose is thinking of requesting a restraining order against Jason Scott, saying, "I never thought I'd need protection from my own family." The quote hasn't been made public yet, but if it is, the internet will go crazy again because, let's face it, how do you even process that sentence? This is the same man who used to take Jason to school, the same man who called him my son on. But behind closed doors, Claressa Shields has been cleaning up quickly. One of her former PR consultants, who left her team last month, claims that she has already contacted crisis managers and image repair agencies because she knows this isn't just bad press and that it could follow her into any arena she enters, whether it be media or boxing, and she is attempting to remove her name from it. This isn't just personal anymore, it's legal. The issue is that while most people were watching the fight, a leaked audio clip from inside the Scott household appeared. The voice is calm and measured, and it appears to be Jason. What people don't see is how long I've been waiting to say it. I don't regret it. I regret it didn't happen sooner. Those last few words are now making the rounds on all social media platforms, including blogs, TikTok voiceovers, and Remy Ma. Remy Ma hasn't said anything in public yet, but late Thursday night, a private voicemail was leaked, allegedly from Remy to a close friend, in which she said, "I didn't ask him. I didn't want it to go that way, but I understand why it did, and I can't deny that when I saw who he had hit, I didn't feel the way I had expected. Remy is torn between two men, one of whom she raised and the other of whom assisted in raising him, in this murky region where morality blurs and familial loyalty devolves into vigilante behavior. So which side does she pick? Industry sources speculate that Papoose may be distancing himself from a number of collaborative business ventures he previously disclosed to the public, but the public is merely receiving power plays in response to their demands for answers. The line is frightening because of it. It's a divorce of empires, not just a split. Remy's money, contracts, performance royalties, and publishing rights are all being examined. Despite all of this, Jason's case remains unknown. He has not been taken into custody and no warrant has been made public, but his name is being looked into, and attorneys on both sides are preparing for the next development. The pressure is increasing, especially now that another bombshell has surfaced, notwithstanding the opinions of those who believe Papoose won't pursue charges and others who believe he is waiting for one final betrayal before doing so. Papoose and Claressa were seen in a Miami hotel 2 months ago, according to Claressa's former sparring colleagues, who trained with her during her Florida camp. What becomes of a hip-hop family that was once a symbol of tenacity but has since been destroyed by secrets, silence, and one too severe moment? What becomes of Remy Ma, whose name is suddenly at the center of a scandal about which she never spoke? What becomes of Papoose, who was previously praised as the model for fidelity but is now under suspicion? If that is the case, the relationship was active long before this altercation. Therefore, it wasn't merely real. That is more than just treachery. It's a plan, a strategy, and the secret that lies beneath every grin in public. It transforms the punch from an act of anger into a last act of disclosure. Although Claressa is legally free to leave this circumstance, the internet is not forgiving. Now, every press conference, interview, and ring she attends will be associated with a particular occasion. She hasn't said a word, despite the term homewrecker trending twice. Everyone agrees that Jason did what most people only dream about. He showed up and changed the story with his own hands. Some see him as irresponsible, while others call him bold. Even though Remy has never addressed it explicitly, a tweet that her official account liked sums it up. There are times when the people who stand up for you are looking on when you were the question now is yours. Was Jason Scott acting inappropriately? Or did he do what every devoted son imagines when they witness their mother being treated disrespectfully in public? Was Papoose a victim of violence or a man who thought no one was looking? This scandal wasn't just about a love triangle or betrayal. It was about what happens when genuine pain stops being quiet. That post, "Forgot Who You Were," has received over 800,000 likes, and in a world full of public relations speeches and fake apologies, it may be the closest we'll ever get to understanding her true feelings. The next twist is coming, and you'll hear it soon. This is more than just a fight. It's a legacy being threatened, so don't just watch from the sidelines. After the punches, the silence, the voice notes, and the legal actions, one thing is obvious. This family may never be the same again. If you think the story is over, think again. We're still waiting for the whole truth. Whether charges will be brought against Remy Ma, whether Claressa will speak up, or whether she will continue to run.